Alright, this is Console of Microtransactions, or Console Gaming, or Console of Micronesia, with my buddy Warhammer Weekendtimes. Say hello!
Hey guys, it's me, Stan, from Warhammer Weekendtimes. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's good to hear his voice again, isn't it? We're looking today at a very, very interesting game in our league that we are both in. Got about 48 people or something like that in it.
Oh, it's a big league, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great. We started with just like 10 people, and it's
Not
run
even.
by CW3 Claire. Check out his Twitch channel. I'll see if I can link it or whatever. But this is an interesting game. There's a bunch of divisions, the top being Platinum, the one second to top being Gold division. It's got like 6 people in it, right? Each division has 6.
I think each division has 8 players.
Each division has 8, and it's a round-robin format, so everybody plays everybody else. So I'm in Gold as well, so I've already fought both of these teams. This is the second to last week of the season. I thought this was a particularly interesting game. It is Orcs versus Nurgle. Nurgle developed interestingly.
Ogres versus Nurgle.
Or Ogres, sorry, I said Orcs. I get that. I do that all the time.
I mean, that is quite racist concept.
It is a little bit racist. So what we have to start out with is we have an amazing ogre team. He's induced a wizard and a halfling master chef. He started with 2 rerolls, and he has 5 ogres, I think. Is it 5?
Yeah, he's got 5 ogres, and for those of you who aren't really familiar with what inducing is, if one player has a advantage numerically in terms of their team value over the other player who has the lesser team value will typically get a little bit of extra money to spend on certain special things that really you can only get during the inducement phase of a game. They're not something you can naturally buy. So one team is much more valuable than the other in terms of numbers.
Yeah, which ogres want. Ogres want to get inducements because they're bad, so they like to have the inducements as a bit of an equalizer.
Yes.
And this Nurgle team is interesting. They're not like a kill team. They don't have much guard. Our buddy Gojira has just entered in. Gojira,
Hey,
we're
Gojira.
recording this Blood Bowl game between Sneaker as Ogres and Baistaru as Nurgle. And Nurgle doesn't have a lot of guard. They just have kind of a smattering of block and stand firm on the Chaos Warriors, mighty blow on one Pestigore, and claw on another Pestigore, as well as a Pestigore with strength up. So kind of a mix. They have a couple of kill skills, a couple of control skills, but not a huge amount of guard, besides the Nurgle Beast, who has guard and stand firm. So fairly developed Nurgle Beast, and some interesting stuff is going to happen in regards to that guard and stand firm later in this game, but I don't want to spoil anything. So everyone going into this game looking at it, Ogres is not a great team. They're pretty much the worst team in the game. So he's lost like every other game in this season, so we're all expecting, yeah, Ogres guaranteed loss. So let's see what happens. So you ready to start, Stan?
Yes, I am.
Alright, let's get started, and 3, 2, 1.
Alright. So I'm at the setup phase. They just induced the Halfling Master Chef, which is a big deal because it means one team loses a reroll and the other team gains their reroll. For those of you who aren't familiar with what rerolls are, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you fail anything, you can reroll it, but it certainly does not mean that you will succeed.
Yeah, but the Ogre's getting 1 free reroll based off of that, and Nurgle losing 1. Not exactly enough to really pay for it, because it costs 300k in inducements, and a reroll costs about 50 to 70k. So if that happens again, it's kind of coming close to paying for itself, but you really want to see more than 2. Ogres have 2 Noblar benches. Normally you want more than that. And then Nurgle has 2 Rodder benches. The interesting thing about this Nurgle team is that their Rodders are a little bit more developed than I would want. Like, we've got a kick dodged Rodder, and then a block sneaky get Rodder. And I do not like the block sneaky get Rodder, because, like, what's the point? I think the sneaky or get requires a double. What's the point of having a player who costs like 70k doing your fouls? It's too expensive.
I don't know where you are in your recording.
Kickoff just happened.
Okay.
So there was a blitz. So Nurgle actually gets the blitz, so they get a free like first turn where players who aren't based can move. So the players who are touching
a big deal.
already,
It's basically a free turn.
yeah, which is a big deal because then he can get on the ball before Sneaker even has a chance to get on the ball, or Formosus is his coach name in Blood Bowl. And it allows Nurgle to set up in a position that they really like. So Sneaker was telling me when he saw this, he was immediately thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those games.
No, I mean this is not an advantageous matchup for Ogres whatsoever. Nobblers having the low AV means that they're going to get sent off the field.
Oh, Nobblers! Look at these tiny little guys. They're going to get trashed. He just has a few with diving tackle, so it makes it harder to get away from them. You can't dodge away from them. You have to punch them. Now the crazy thing is running up and fouling a Nobblar. So fouling a player who's less valuable than you is pretty risky, but it doesn't get punished.
Especially on turn 1.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because that's not a bad ronder that he could have lost. If you roll doubles on the armor break roll,
you're sent off the whole game. So fouling is risky. You don't want to roll doubles. It's 2 rolls of d6s, and if either of them are doubles, you get sent off. But that's what Sneaky Git is for.
It is an extremely offensive play.
But now Ogres is responding. They've cleared the ball somewhat. There's still one guy on the ball. These Snotlings can get around, or Nobblars can get around anywhere. They can just dodge through.
Losing one of those re-rolls this early is also going to be pretty significant.
Ogres suffer from Bonehead, so anytime they act, they have to roll on a d6. They have to roll a 2 and above, or the Ogre just stands around doing nothing. And they're just taking hits on the line.
Yeah, that hit on the hit on the
2 Ogres having block is so good for this team. You need doubles to get block. Normally, they don't have access to it.
The hit on the Beast of Nurgle is a big deal, especially with a realist stupid. That's significant. That's really significant because he has guard, and if he's able to stand up, he's gonna.
Yeah, this
really
Beast of Nurgle is just out for now.
Yeah.
So since this is a replay, things are going by pretty quick.
Yes, typically games do not go by this fast. Oh man, Ted Cruz being stunned.
Cruz. One of the you don't want to see a block Ogre stunned, because these 2 block Ogres are like the key Ogres on the team.
He does have a break tackle Ogre though, which is going to be pretty useful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Another
foul on a Nobblar for a knockout.
It pays off.
I guess it pays off. The Nobblar only costs 40k when you're risking basically a nearly 1 in 3 chance of losing this Rodder for the whole game.
I'd say it pays off because he didn't get sent off, and it's an extraordinarily risky play and an injury.
Ugh, already on a Nurgle Warrior. He needs these Nurgle Warriors. This is a level 3 Nurgle Warrior. Strength 4 piece is like instrumental in this game. 50-50 chance of regenerating, and it fails.
Yeah, this is really bad to be losing players this early on. So yeah.
So he's going to push one of the Nurgle Warriors onto the ball, and it just scatters into the hands of a Nobblar. Extraordinarily lucky.
And look at this play that he
And the Nobblar can just run away. Nobody can catch him. He's so little he can just dodge through everybody. And he's using his other Nobblars to just tie up the free players and make kind of like a little semi-cage. I would have liked to see another dodge from a Nobblar to like make a full cage against the Pestigore. But this is enough to make it difficult to hit the Nobblar.
He does have a few moves that could be advantageous to him, but it looks like he's... Oh, he took out one of those Nobblars.
See how easily the Nobblars just get smacked, because their armor value is 6, which is 2 lower than the average in the game, and their stunty and titchy make it even easier to take them out. See, just every other hit just takes out a Nobblar. They're super mobile. It's hard to stop them once they're going, but like if you get a hit on them, they're
It's already 3 removals on the...
Yeah, already 3 Nobblars out, but that's a fair trade for a Nurgle Warrior.
100%, absolutely.
Easily.
And those Nobblars can come back, and the failed GFI.
Really sucks to be down to 1 reroll.
Absolutely.
Hard to hit the Nobblar. You need a POW unless you have tackle because they have dodge, or you need a POW or both down. So a 2 out of 6 chance to hit them, but you get automatic 3-die hits because you're over twice as strong as them with most players.
Narbala probably will be able to dodge out of the tackle zone, though, pretty reliable.
Very easily. It's just a 2-up. It's
like
only a
that's
1 in
true.
36 chance of failing with dodge and stunty Titchy, making them really good at dodging. A lot of stand firm on Bystaro's team. I don't know how much I like all of that stand firm. It would be better to have more guard.
Stand firm is nice because it can allow you to keep an opponent based on your turn, because they typically can't move after they hit.
It's particularly good when combined with guard, because then that guard piece is just stuck in there and you can't get him out, and if you don't knock him down, he's just there.
Another reroll used. This is really rough. Both rerolls used already by turn 3, and the piling on.
Piling on not doing anything, so that allows you to roll a chance to armor break or injure someone twice, and the fact that it didn't do anything there really stinks for Sneaker.
Oh, the stun on the goat. This game is not going bueno for Nurgle right now. This is not at all where he wants to be with his. He's really spread out, and the ball is very, very far down the field.
So,
and if he scores, he has a chance to bring his Noblash.
The Beast of Nurgle just really stupided right now. Are you in the same spot?
Yes, it just did. Just now, it seems like you're a couple seconds ahead of me, which is fine.
Pestigor unable to dodge out without using a reroll. Now both rerolls out by turn 3 and turn turn 3, both rerolls for both teams gone is really sad. But this is just amazing.
Is a hit, though.
Nurgle's.
Oh no, it's not. He's got dodge. Excuse me.
Yep. So that ball is still safe and can score next turn. No problem. Only a 1 in 36 chance of not being able to score, which is so big. Ogres have such a tough time scoring because those Noblars are so... Oh.
And this will be a big deal.
See that sent off? He fouled 3 times, sent off on the 3rd time. It's about a 1 in 3 chance of getting sent off.
The stun was definitely not worth the send off. No, it never...
Yeah, fouling is really risky. You definitely only want to do it on a very high target, high value player with one of your cheap players. And this Rotter is just worth way too much money to be fouling with, in my opinion.
And that is going to be the score for Ogre.
And Ogres are able to score, which is amazing. Nurgle getting a blitz and then Ogres still pulling out the score is just really good.
Well, losing that Chaos Warrior early on is going to do a lot.
That's such a big deal, and not getting the regen.
Down a block, stand firm, Nurgle Warrior. He's also down a block.
Now, Nurgle had 2 benches, so they're still at a full team. And Ogres have 6, 10 players. So Ogres are actually down a player, but that's just a Noblar, so not a huge deal.
Another thing to kind of keep in mind is that Rotter did have Sneaky Git, which means that he's not sent off unless he breaks armor, which he did. He got.
You have to get at least a stun, so it's a little bit of hedging your bets. At least you get something out of it. You're getting at least a stun with that guy if he gets sent off.
It's a low, yeah, exactly. There's a lower risk because you know you're going to get something on a send off. So that's actually a very good skill to take if you're wanting to foul with it.
But that skill for a Rotter, they don't get. That is agility access if I'm correct, which means it costs 30k for a skill. So
yeah, I would have taken something completely different.
Now we see back-to-back blitzes, another blitz. But this time it's Ogres getting a blitz, which let's see what happens with this, because this could be a big deal. Too many blitzes this game. It's a 3-die on the Claw. Pestigor really wants to take that guy out. Gets a stun, piles on. How could anyone survive that pile on? But it doesn't do anything, which is really sad. Now we see the interesting play. Ogre runs up, picks up a Noblar, and throws it towards the ball. Noblar sticks the landing, 50-50 chance of sticking the landing. Runs under the ball. Can he catch it, though, is the question. So you see the ball frozen midair, and the Noblar catches it. What a legend! A legend.
That's
among
a big
Noblars.
deal. That's a huge deal.
That's huge. That this play with the blitz could win Ogres the game, depending on. Still no hit.
They are already 1-0.
Imagine throwing 20 dice and never rolling a 6. And that's what Bystar is feeling right now, because he just can't hit that Nobblar. And not hitting the Nobblar right there means this Nobblar has a 1 in 36 chance of scoring. Ogre scoring 2 against you on the first drive is almost a death sentence. Like, you can't come back from that as Nurgle, almost. You could still draw it out, but how is Nurgle going to get 3 touchdowns in a single drive?
Oh, it's going to be very difficult. It's actually almost impossible.
Nurgle getting the hits on the line, knocking down a couple ogres, only pushing the 1 ogre. Turn 5, and it's already a good chance of seeing ogres with 2-0. I've never seen that before.
I'll say the ogre's getting the 2 blitzes. I mean, that's extraordinarily. Well, I guess it's just 1.
Nurgle
blitz.
got the first blitz.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Nurgle got the first. The 1 blitz at all is lucky, but getting 2 blitzes in the game is significant.
So we're just seeing ogres tying up players. And at this point, I don't know if Sneaker is just going to... Why bother tying up players if you're just going to go for the score anyways? I guess hedging your bets. And the Nobblar gets the score, putting the score at 2-0, which is just... it's just, how do you come back from that? Elves could...
You hope you do better in the second half.
The elf... If this was an elf team instead of Nurgle, Nurgle is too slow. If it was an elf team, they could score quickly, easily with 4 turns in this drive, and then score twice next drive.
Nurgle technically could score within this drive and then score twice next drive, but it's going to be hard. He's going to have to.
It is very hard. You have to sack the ball
into scoring, or he has to just give up on the score game and just go for the bash game.
Oh, that's what you like.
Well, yeah, that is. I mean, it's called Blood Bowl for a reason.
Yeah, who cares about scoring? Just beat up your opponent. So we got a knockdown ogre. The butcher is just getting hit by a chaos warrior. I gotta love the Pestigore with strength up, because that Pestigore, horns giving you a +1 strength on the blitz. Strength 5 blitzes can make such a big difference with a player like that. And just having a strength 5 player and then 5 strength 4 players on a chaos team like Nurgle is just really hard to contend with.
Well, yes, I mean, it's also really good that he has that extra strength up, because he lost that Nurgle warrior early on, so he's going to need a compensation.
Bystar running up and putting a goat near the ball just to keep it a little bit safe no matter what happens. Goat's able to pick up the ball, run forward a bit. Doesn't have any movement after that. Takes the 1 die. I think that was a 1 die with Krasgor on the ogre, and it doesn't fail, but it doesn't hurt the ogre anyways, and that stinks, because with that claw hit, see those claws on that guy, it's pretty easy to hurt even an ogre, but hasn't really paid off yet.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing, to be fair.
Yeah, that claw should have done something by now.
He needs to start clearing the ogres off the field if he's going to make any real forward progress, because right now they're tying up all his pieces.
Yep. So far, this many strength 5 pieces, even with Nurgle having as much strength as it does, all these strength 5 pieces are really hard to deal with. Now, the funny thing is, I lost my game against Nurgle, but won my game against Ogres, against these 2 teams so far in this season. I'm glad that the Ogres did get these amazing plays off on my team. Gotta love Ogres for farming SPP, though, by just killing Nobblars.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Maybe Vistaro's problem was caring about the ball to begin with, and not just killing Nobblars left and right. See a Nobblar try to dodge away from the Beast of Nurgle, but can't because of tentacles. Another Nobblar injured. Boba the Third. That is the first Nobblar injury, which is surprising. Even in 6 turns, you'd think a couple of Nobblars would be injured by now. I speak too soon, there's a second Nobblar injury. Can we see a third Nobblar injury? Well, it's a knockout. See, that's 3 removals on Nobblars in 3 hits. They're like
a big
made out
deal.
of tissue paper. Seeing Ulgu Ra, the Strength 4 Pestigore, injuring a Noblar. That's 4 removals in 4 hits.
I mean, those are the turns that really end up mattering, because you are just taking so many players off the field, and you're not giving your opponent an opportunity to use them in the next turn.
Ogres are strong, but if they don't have their Noblars to carry the ball and harass and move around, they can't do anything. Because the Ogres, like, 1/6 out of the time, the Ogre you want to blitz with is just going to stand there looking around being stupid.
And to be fair, like, getting all those injuries is really good for the SPP of the.
Oh yeah, that really helps the development of the team. I'd like to see, like, how much stronger this Nurgle team is going to look after this game. Look at that disgusting beast of Nurgle. So gross.
Are you on the Ogres turn 7 yet?
Ogres turn 7, yep. Ted Cruz just smacked a Rotter in the face.
Yes, alright, we're pretty much synced.
Bonehead Ogre.
To be fair, the Boneheads really haven't even been that bad for Ogres.
Nope, they've actually been pretty decent. And haven't gotten any key players. I don't think any Boneheads have stopped any blitzes yet. These Ogres need some shoes. I feel bad for them.
I don't. I feel bad for their Noblars.
Oh, well, yeah.
They're down 6 Noblars. I mean, anytime you're down 6 players, the player differential on the team is a.
It really shouldn't be too hard for Nurgle to score at this point. I think he's going to go for a pass play.
He's only got these 2 turns to get them.
And he's got no reroll, and the lack of a reroll makes a difference, because now Nurgle, very, very hard to score.
And he fumbles. I mean, that's the thing, is if he fails to pick up on this next turn, it doesn't matter.
No score in the first half, and not scoring in this first half pretty much eliminates the chance of a win for Nurgle. But
Ogres just have to play defensively at that point.
Ogre runs in, tries to hit the guy next to the ball, but is unable to. Rolls a both down and a skull, and just picks the skull for the sake of convenience, because the both down would have the same effect against the player with block.
It is an armor break also.
And the stun, but the stun doesn't matter because Ogres don't have another turn. These Ogres just get smacked left and right, but Claw not making a difference so far. And Bystaru might as well go for the hits.
I would say Claw made a difference on that skull, but the stun is not.
But the stun doesn't. Bystaru not having rerolls, don't know if it's been better to just go for the pickup, because not getting that pickup there, no score, which means extremely unlikely to win, and also very unlikely to even draw, because it's pretty hard to score twice with Nurgle.
Failing the pickup is going to be...
Halfling Master Chef taking 2 rerolls and giving Ogres 2 rerolls is big, because now Nurgle only has 1 reroll and Ogres have 3. And Nurgle does not have any ball handling skills. They don't have sure hands, they don't have pass or catch, so any mistakes with the ball or any like 1 in 36 on a dodge can just mean a turnover and can mean a win for the Ogres. But Ogres have very few players now. Ogres just having 9 players, but 5 of those players have strength 5, so basically 11 players.
Rotter does catch the ball.
Well, I guess then that's canceled out by the... Did the Rotter catch the ball straight off?
I believe so.
Oh my god. Bystaru thankful for a little bit of luck there. Getting hits down the line. Getting a hit with the Beast of Nurgle. Taking the hit with the Beast of Nurgle would have waited to do that later on, since Beast of Nurgle is a loner, so you can't use a reroll. So if the Beast of Nurgle got double skulls or anything particularly bad, really high risk of a turnover.
Although that is a nice 1-die POW against that block Ogre.
Now I just got to a turnover because a warrior of Nurgle did not have block, and neither did the ogre, and got it both down on the hit.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper got some. I'm gonna run to the restroom very fast.
All right. So we're looking. These ogres can just hit the Nurgle warriors. Stand firm actually really helped there. If it weren't for stand firm, this ogre would have been on the ball. But putting a Noblar on the ball, kind of a pain in the butt, because you can't dodge away from it with diving tackle. And if you hit it and don't get it, it's just got sidestep. Turnover for ogres, going into Nurgle's turn. Nurgle having trouble getting the ball, using up their last reroll. Nurgle wants desperately to score as early as possible so they can tie this up. Nurgle pretty confident that the 6 movement Pestigore can just get out of dodge, and with these guys all here, the ogres don't really have much of an option of hitting. These ogres on the ground only got 2 movement. Where's the ogre with break tackle? Ogre with break tackle being all the way over here. Moxie is injured. Yeah, this ogre with break tackle is really needed. So Nurgle ending it with a turnover. Now, he had a pocket wizard, so he just zaps the ball carrier. Probably the right choice since he didn't have any other way of getting at the ball carrier. And that delaying the score is the name of the game to get Nurgle to win this. Or to get ogres to win this.
That was a pretty proficient use of the wizard, also.
Yes, that was probably the best choice, since he's not going to get a good fireball, and he needed to stop the score. Because if Nurgle scored now, and ogres had the ball with very few players, not too hard for ogres to get the ball stolen from them. This Noblar can just sit up here against the sideline with the ball because he has sidestep, so he can't be surfed. Without being completely surrounded anyways.
Look at the Noblar just coming on in and snatching the ball
Just coming on in, snatching the ball up, and then basing the strength 4 Pestigore. Seeing the blitz, seems like the first time that Bystaro was actually able to hit a Noblar who had the ball. Every other time's just been pushes and defender stumble.
To be fair, that Noblar is just a blitz away from being served.
Well, he can't be served because he has sidestep.
Oh, that's very true.
Which makes it a lot more comfortable. For
ball scatter.
Yep, ball scatters. And I'll just let you catch up for a second here. And should be good.
The beast of Nurgle just slumping along, sloughing across the ground like a...
Did you see the Pestigore run in and pick up the ball?
Not quite yet.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Slow-mo. Noblar being smacked. Is it going to be an injury?
Yeah, I just saw the Pestigore grab the ball.
Alright. And then a Pestigore is smacking a Noblar, but no injury. Noblar's being annoying to get rid of. How does this Strength 4 goat not just squish the Noblar in his hands? That's what I want to know. Break Tackle Ogre being very elfy, just running around, failing the GFI to smack the Claw Pestigore, but getting the hit with the reroll. So that is huge. Able to stop the ball while it was far away from the Break Tackle Ogre with a wizard, just long enough for the Break Tackle Ogre to come into play and be a good sacker. That's a big deal. Now I wonder if he'd probably just take block on the Ogre with Break Tackle, huh? If it failed GFI with a Noblar, I think.
Yep, into an injury.
Very few Noblars left on the field. How many are there? Just 2?
That's 6 Noblars off the field right now.
How do you play with 2 Noblars and 5 Ogres?
Very carefully.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, he's winning.
He's winning.
And Nurgle's not doing a lot to stop him.
Nurgle's got no rerolls, whereas Ogres still have 2 rerolls. Putting the Beast of Nurgle next to the ball, really, really hard to deal with. Taking the 1 die to try to push the Ogre away from the ball so he can come in and pick it up. But he can't get anybody else really on the ball. This would be a good time to use that dodge Rodder to come in and get next to the ball, but he kind of leaves him next to the Ogre.
I mean, I wouldn't want my Rodder next to the Ogre right now.
I mean, you want to tie up the Ogre. You don't want the Ogre anywhere near the ball.
No, but, you know, he's gonna be having some issues regardless.
Rodders are pretty delicate. I'm surprised there isn't more Rodder or any Rodder injuries or knockouts, because Rodders have decay, so when you roll injuries for them, you roll twice and pick both injuries. So Rodder's really sensitive, which is interesting because otherwise Nurgle has regeneration and high armor, so they're a very tough team. The Rodders are... Okay, so a level 3 Nurgle warrior losing a point in armor value. He's dead. That's the end of his career. Just ended. And let's see if he gets a regeneration. No, he doesn't get the regeneration.
That's so sad.
That's so sad. A level... 2 Nurgle warriors out, one of them with a career-ending injury. Hopefully Nurgle won't have any other problems for the rest of this game.
That's a good warrior, too.
That is a good warrior. Block, stand firm is not bad. No doubles at least, but it would be terrible if that strength up Pestigore were to get hurt. It would be awful if like the Beast of Nurgle got hurt. That's a level 3 beast. But luckily those players have regeneration, so they're most likely going to be okay. They're just trying to get people on... Yeah, sure. Just trying to get people on the ball. Oh, gets the 4-up pickup in a tackle zone. 4-up dodge, 4-up pickup, 3-up dodge. Pretty good for Bystaru.
I'd be yelling at my computer right now.
Ah, yeah, poor Sneaker. That was a tough play.
Really stupid's pretty bad, too.
On the Beast?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that really hurts, because you don't want any hits on the Rodders that you can avoid, but that one was okay. Especially hits on the Rodders from block players when the Rodders don't have block, because these Ogres with block can just hit with impunity. Ogre doing the 50-50 dodge play, trying to jump out, he succeeds, makes another 50-50 dodge, 3 50-50 dodges, if I'm not mistaken.
To go use a reroll for...
Almost gets there. He fails the GFI at the end.
That's
the sad part, because the GFI is a 2-up. And that could have prevented the score. Sneaker's probably just wishing he had just based the guy. And that is the first score for Nurgle. But this late in the half, Nurgle is not going to do a reverse
it's
two-turn.
over. Like,
it's over. Well, it can't get any worse for Nurgle, right? Just a loss.
I will say at least Nurgle. I mean, it's pretty bad for Nurgle. He's lost one of his Chaos Warriors.
One of his best players.
Totally. And then he's also down 2 other important pieces that... All 3 of his pieces that are out have block.
Yeah. Only 1 permanent injury, though. And otherwise, Nurgle has regeneration, so they should be fine.
Well, all that block is going to help mitigate the block on the Ogres, which he no longer has.
Yep, he has very few block now. Now he just has block on the Pestigores. His other warriors of Nurgle are just level 1 warriors. They don't have block. This team of Bystars has been in the league for a couple of seasons, and it has been developed before and got decimated in a previous game.
Man, those goats have some really bad eczema.
Oh yeah, they don't look closely. So Ogres get a quick snap, so they get a free movement. Just 1 space. Which doesn't really get used for much, just moves 2 of the Noblars because Ogres want these hits, so they don't want to move anywhere else. Oh! The Beast of Nurgle is dead. Who could have seen this coming? A level 3 beast being taken out and not regenerating. It's dead. It's out of the team. This team just lost 2 extremely expensive players. 2 level 3 players. It is hard to get to level 3 with a beast.
Losing the beast is an extraordinarily bad.
Yes, and not regenerate. Just one hit, dead, doesn't regenerate is so sad because that beast is level 3 and it is hard to get, you know, a beast to level 3 as compared to getting a Pestigore to that level. Because the beast doesn't have block and it definitely isn't scoring.
It doesn't have block anymore.
It doesn't have block. Yeah, it doesn't have anything anymore. Well, luckily for Baistaru, it's extremely unlikely that Ogres could get another score.
I mean, he can throw his players. I mean,
he can throw his players. We've seen him do it in this game,
and it paid off. I don't know what the dice roll percentages are, but
well, it's a 50-50 to stick the landing, and then the throw, I think, is something like a 50-50. At least the Ogres don't try to eat the players like Trolls do. Trolls do have a small chance, like a 1 in 36 chance, I think. You have to roll double ones, basically. And if so, your Troll tries to eat the Goblin it's picking up.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, only fair.
That is a... oof.
The Ogres have the ball. It's a little half cage and a little bit of a screen. And we've seen a couple of Noblar injuries now, but all the Ogres have been fine.
If you start losing Ogres, that's the real issue.
That's when the problems start, because
once you lose about 2 Ogres,
then it's all downhill.
It's bad. Because those Noblars are not going to last.
Hate to see a bonehead on the block Ogre, but bound to happen. These Rotters have been amazingly tough. I can't believe the Rotters, who have Decay and AV8, have been more tough than Nurgle Warriors with Regeneration and AV9.
Oh, and the Beast.
And the Beast with AV9 and Regeneration. It's just...
The only Rotter send-off is from the Foul really early on.
And those fouls did not really pay for themselves, I'd say. I'd say stunning Noblars and stunning an Ogre. Ooh. So, Nurgle makes it harder to pass because of Disturbing Presence, but it works anyways! Works anyways. And then Noblar runs away with the ball. So if Baistaru fails the GFI, but he makes it. Setting up for the 3rd score, which is almost unheard of for Ogres, I feel like. Now, Baistaru just has to hit this Noblar to prevent the 3rd score, but Baistaru does have somebody in scoring range, but he doesn't even care. He's given up winning, or even tying at this point.
Oh, so I would. It's turn 16. You're not gonna...
Well, Baistaru actually has a player in scoring range, so... Well, no, he didn't have anybody to pick up the ball, because if you blitz, you can't then pick up the ball with the same player who blitzes,
yeah,
so...
It's over. There
was no way to recover it. Better to just take the foul. Oh, finally the foul gets a knockout on an Ogre, but it's too little too late. Baistaru just wanting to get a little bit of an injury before the game is over, just to make up for it. Probably a little bit mad. I know I'd be pissed off.
Oh, absolutely, especially Nurgle being one of the best Bash teams of the game.
Nurgle is so strong, and this is a decently developed Nurgle team, so to see it go down like this is just... See, if that Ogre didn't have block, that would have been the end of the game there, because that Ogre just got it both down, but he has block. And the Noblar scores. I think this Noblar has scored once. This is Trevor, or CW3 Claire, his representative Noblar. And then T-Self, I think, was the other Noblar, who actually scored twice.
That was a terrible game.
That was terrible for Nurgle, but fantastic for Ogres.
They lost 2 an extraordinarily important player.
Yeah, just... If I was this Nurgle player, I would just be looking for the league-wide reset, because this, in 2 seasons or so, I think it's going to be, this league we're in, the Warhammer Weekendtimes League, is going to be resetting, and everybody's going to start with fresh teams. We're always looking for more people, so there is going to be a link in the video description below to the Discord where we play this league and we play other tabletop games, a link to the Warhammer Weekendtimes Discord server where we all hang out. Stan is the admin of that server, and we play BOTET and various things. Now, gosh, it sucks to see 21 armor breaks from the Rotflies here on Ogres and Noblars, but no dead Ogres versus 7 armor breaks. 7 armor breaks is not very many, and that killing two of the best players on the team is just sad.
And to be fair, that team, they a lot of the armor breaks were stuns and KOs, and in the second half, you definitely saw a lot more Noblars getting injured.
I just don't know
again,
why he would foul a Noblar twice. That was just ridiculous.
I think he felt safe behind the sneaky get player.
Sneaky get is not, because if you succeed on the armor break, it's a 1 in 3 chance of removal. So I would not.
I would have
make
saved
that trade. Yeah, fouling an ogre, much more reasonable. Ogres are an expensive piece. Fouling one of those block ogres would have been huge. Or fouling the break tackle. The break tackle ogre made such a big difference in this game. The throwing players for ogres was just amazing this game. Let's see some of the statistics here. Ogres had the ball the most times, and let's see. Ogres, a lot of dice rolls, pretty even. A lot of 5s, but all around the block dice were pretty even, or the regular dice are pretty even. Let's see. The block dice were pretty favorable for Ogres. Not a lot of 1s, actually. A lot more, significantly more everything else other than 1s. Then for Rotflies had a lot of 1s on the block dice. Lots of pushes. And for the regular dice, Rotflies did okay for the regular dice. Not a lot of 3s, which 3 is a push on a block and a successful dodge on most dodges, and a successful catch a lot of the time. But yeah, that was just a tough game for Nurgle, but really, really fun to watch. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out the links to the Discords below, and look forward to some more videos from me and some more videos from Stan over at Warhammer Weekendtimes, right, Stan?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have a good one.